Hello everyone. Let's suppose I am second grade teacher in a multicultural school setting. When in my classroom I have students that speak four different languages. At home I have variety of students from different countries. Let's assume I am gonna have a parent-teacher conference with two different families from my classroom. So the first family that I gonna have a parent-teacher conference with they come from Peru. So the home language is Spanish and they trying to learn English since they moved here. The second family comes from China. So they speak Chinese at home and they have a very difficult time to trying to learn English. But they getting there. They been here for almost 2 years. So they are just getting adapted to their new environment. I need to keep in mind when I conducting this conference. Also, I need to keep in mind that these parents have a very difficult time to understand English. They also are adapting to many new things. I need to keep in mind when I speak to them. I need to consider the families, backgrounds, concerns, and special resources they may need. It is important for the parents to feel comfortable during a conference. During the conference, I need to help to parents to understand fully the evaluation information. Also, it is important to start on a positive note and end on a positive note. I will start with the family that comes from Peru. In this conference will be easier for me to conduct because my family also come from Peru and I know how to speak Spanish. The conference will be in English, but luckily I know how to translate some things in Spanish in case I see parents really confused. In this conference, I gonna speak in English normally. I'm gonna to encourage the parents to talk more about their child and I don't want to be the one leading the conversation. I want to them to express what goes at home and how they feel at home or school. That way I could relate it to that and make connections about how they doing in my classroom. I gonna to show them their child portfolio with the formal and informal assessment just to show them their progress from the beginning of the school year towards to the middle or the ending of the school year. I will also provide them information about their child, about what they can do to progress in positively and what they can do at home to help him or her to increment their vocabulary in English. And I am gonna to finish this conference in a positive note, telling them that everything at the end of the day is gonna very well with their child. Also, with their help, everything gonna be better and they meet their educational goals for their child. For the second conference, I will follow the same steps in start and end. On a positive note, encourage parents to share information about their child. Let them take the lead instead of me taking talking about their child. I have to discuss relevant information about their child progress, show them their child's portfolio, and I have to discuss the child's needs and issues about the progress and on a positive note. This conference may be, may be a little more difficult for me because they come from China. They be only been for almost 2 years, and their language is completely different, and not only is completely different, but the way they write it is extremely different. They have symbols and yeah, it's different. It is very tough for them to adapt easier than Spanish speaking family because if they come here to US, there's a lot of immigrants. I come from all in South America that speak Spanish, especially if I'm conducting this conference in Miami, because Miami is full of Hispanic people that speak Spanish, and it's more easier for them to adapt. But from someone that coming from China will be more difficult for adapt. In this conference, I need to understand they are having difficulty adapting to this new environment, especially new language. You know, language is so important to get around. I know that child from China is having a lot of difficulty speaking in English. I have some students that are going through the same thing, and he is not my only Chinese student. So I will actually mention to the parents that I have another student that comes from China as well, but they are a little bit more advanced in English and they are helping each other out. That is a positive way to reinforce parents. Luckily, for this conference, we have a employee professional teacher that speaks Chinese, and I have her present to translate for the parent in case they don't understand the information about the child. I will basically tell the same thing I told the previous family, all the positive things the child has done and how they've been progressing in my classroom. It is difficult to conduct this parent-teacher conference with parents from different countries because they all come from different backgrounds, different stories. I think the main struggle just adapting into this new environment, especially when they speak different language. I think parents can help for this transition because it's not only their child needs to learn, they also have to be there so that way together can they adopt this new environment. Thank you.